get the older generation and they will just look down at until the bread starts coming. They'll look down at anything because they're like, bro, like,
You got.
what is this fantasy shit you're talking about?
You think this is what I broke my back to get this opportunity for you to be doing this?
Yeah.
Are you joking? Are you joking me? You're not going to be a doctor. Are you mad?
It kind of felt weird growing up and being like, man's British, because a little part of you, like just the way the world was and how man saw the world, man didn't really like, unless it comes to like football and certain other things, like I didn't really feel like so British. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I still don't now.
Positive black boys around you making movements towards success.
I remember this.
It's like I love it when I see
Rich back boys like Nelly
but was even happier when I seen Dizzy Rascal getting albums and get his face
on the telly.
Personally, when he won his
Mercury,
I thought, well done. He's a black boy
just as like me.
So like, his respect is due,
Certainly.
And then 6, 7, 9 sang,
Okay, no. But I said, okay though. That was a weird one. Sounds like
He's just trying to rhyme, bro.
yeah, it sounds like it's hating. I said, I don't know him, but I said, okay though.
Exactly. Just trying to rhyme.
We built a team like Mega Man did with So Solid. To that crew right there, I was like, black boys up in this shit. I was like, black.
I was not like crap.
How's that score them goals? It's the part at Tottenham.
I was like Fakey and right. Fuck that, yeah. I do not rate Jermaine Defoe, man. Not a bad boy, man. Goal hanger.
He's not, fam. He's not a goal hanger, bro. He's a number 9, but we're not doing football team.
No, can't. But, know what, yeah? Cause we're in the mood. Shout out the phone in it, but
Shout out,
you're Fakey and right still.
shout out Andy and Dwight York. You get me?
Black boys up in this bitch.
Treble winners up in this bitch.
Black boys up in this.
Shout out Ian Wright.
Black boys up in this bitch.
1-1.
2K3 the podcast. What's happening?
What's happening?
Hey! Black boys, bashy.
Up in this bitch.
Yeah. Actually, I'm sounding like
Okay though.
Okay though.
But yeah.
I don't know him, but I said okay though. What?
I don't know him, but I was like, okay though.
Like, if a man said that, what
What do you mean, bro?
What does that mean, fam?
You see, if a man said that to me on the tune, the next part I see him in, I'll be like, yo, what do you mean by that?
What do you mean okay though, bro? What's
What do you mean okay though,
It's a
fam?
bit
What are you
weird,
talking about, fam? No, but I was just saying that. No, fam, but you said everyone else that you was happy
Everywhere
for.
you said, I
But
don't know
me,
him.
okay though.
But we're in the same scene. You know what I
Try to
mean?
water it down.
Bro, you try to water my thing
Like,
down.
what are you saying? Like all loud and that.
Yeah, fam.
But
No,
yeah.
your man is just holding man for long.
Yeah,
like
for
this.
long. Yeah.
Man's in a party, a man is just not letting go. You get me? And then your brother, everyone's looking at. Oh,
Yeah,
brother's
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You're like you got your arm around, man. You just grip him and tight.
Yeah.
But you don't want to see that again, man.
Then you see your own friends start moving weird.
Yeah,
you know when your brethren start
yeah.
moving weird in a party. Yeah, so it's about to go down. Yes.
But yeah, shout out Bashy Black Boys. Very, very powerful tune from when
real.
we grew up. Even now, just hearing it back, it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
bro,
man,
yeah.
that's a.
I didn't realize I knew all the words in that. So it must have left
Don't.
it must have left a strong impression on man going like, what is he
No,
gonna say?
like, man. I'm not
I
going
can
to
see him.
Sky, fam. I'm not going to.
Well, Sky, it's got nothing to do with Sky, fam, because I know you heard that tune.
I heard the tune. Of course, I heard the tune.
But yeah, we're here, people. One word to describe your week.
Grateful.
That's a nice one. What are you grateful for, though?
Life, man. Life's good, man.
Okay, that's a nice one.
Get me? Man's gonna be comfy for the winter, you know.
Like I told you, but no one didn't want to listen to me, though.
You know.
Yeah, sounds like he got something cuffed.
You know.
He's gonna be getting the toes out, like,
You know.
I like that still. Connie, what's yours?
Bro, it's turbulent, man. Turbulent. Nothing's going the way I wanted it to go. I'm taking mad losses.
God.
It's just long, bro. It's just long.
Sometimes you gotta go back to go forward, though, man.
For real.
Yeah.
You'll bounce back.
What's yours?
Mine's been very. What's the word I can call it? Very very amazing. I think it's been you know, like going outside and talking to certain people and
Yeah.
realizing a few things and just sharing the information with the people that I want to share it with, so they can
God.
exceed. It's been very nice, man. Just been outside and just learning things that I can bring back to my people.
Oh God.
Just in terms of just life. But yeah, man, it's been nice. It's been nice. Huh?
I was gonna say, do you know what's really funny? You know, like when you ask man to say one word to describe a week, yeah, like I don't know why, yeah, but I start thinking I'm at school and I'm trying to think of all the like adjectives.
all of them. All of them. Just nigga, I gotta think of something smart.
Yeah, fam. Even when you said like very amazing, I was like, yeah, that's one I would have bust in school. Like,
Yeah,
how's
exactly.
your week been? Akin? Oh, amazing.
Ooh, I like that word, Akin. Here's a sticker. But yeah, man. So this week, topic wise, we're getting into just Black history, but not just they're gonna talk about Black history, just Blackness as a whole. Growing up, obviously our angle is nostalgia, so nothing is off right now. It's just growing up and being aware of things and seeing things and the contrast of now and then. And you know our thing, so we'll just get into it. But
I got a question actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a question.
First one.
For both of you lot. When you think about like Black Britishness, what does it mean to you? It's like being Black British.
It's a techie one, man. It's a techie one. Whenever I hear the word Black British, it just brings you back to like a poll card or registering for something, or you have to like registering for the GP or go into the hospital. Like Black British always seems to be the box that we would take, or Black Caribbean or whatever.
Black other.
Yeah.
Other.
But I'll be real. It's only like since maybe secondary school, I should say. Anything before that, there was nothing to do, and even secondary school, there's not really. I never really identified in the like Black British culture. Everyone was like, even though most of us here, like third generation.
Yeah.
Like literally third generation.
Third generation, yeah.
We're all born here, but we cling on to our
Roots.
our root nationality.
Yeah.
Like our main nationality. So whether we're Jamaican, whether we're African, and not even to say that because Jamaican is like part of the Caribbean, but whether we're Jamaican, whether we're Nigerian, Ghanaian, Congolese, or whatever, Bayesian, people used to cling on to that. That always come before British.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like no one, maybe you guys can tell me something different.
Yeah.
But even up to this day, if someone says, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, my parents are Jamaican.
Yeah.
Like I used to say I'm Jamaican.
Yeah.
But now I say my parents are Jamaican. Of course, that then like that is that those genes are passed on to me, and that nationality is and that heritage as well, and everything that comes with it. But Jamaican comes first. I'm like, yeah, I'm Jamaican, but I just live here. I don't know if you guys have had like a similar kind of thing like that to me, but that's just how I've always seen it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like it's but the British thing for me, Black British thing came out through football. Like because you of course the black faces for England, you know for a fact based on their names, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka.
Yeah.
You know these guys played for England, but they're from somewhere else, bro.
Yeah.
You get me? Like Wilfred Zaha was the England team.
Yeah.
Sean Wright Phillips,
Yeah.
Ashley, like, you know what I'm trying to say. So with that came that, and that's I don't know if it's to do with Black Britishness or just the intertwined tribal culture that football is. But when it's like we're all British, I'm part of the British community when it comes to the England flag and the World Cup and the Euros and all that other thing there. And I think that's just because more time. It's more to do with the players as well. More time you'll see more success and things with that. I don't know, man. Maybe that's what it is for me.
I think one interesting thing you said, especially when it comes to like identifying with our parents' countries and stuff like that, is such a different dynamic. Like when it comes to America, because obviously they're not knowing their roots and that. Like everyone's just American, and I feel like because like back home to us is close in terms of whether that's relatives here or relatives there. Like you always feel like it's not that far away. Do you know what I mean? And there's some people that don't have that. And so, and I think at the same time, like, it kind of felt weird growing up and being like, man's British. Because a little part of you, like just the way the world was and how man saw the world, man didn't really, like, unless it come to like football and certain other things, like, I didn't really feel like, oh, so British. Do you know what I mean?
I still don't now.
Yeah. I feel like the only difference is now is like maybe it's always been here, and maybe that's more research for me. But I feel like growing up, like I can start to define like Black British culture. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's a lot easier than when man was young, because I feel like there was nothing to really look at. Do you know what I mean? Because I know maybe we could say that there was obviously the Windrush generation and stuff like that. But in terms of like Black Britishness, I always think it's like a combination of the like Caribbeans and the Africans and that being put into a melting pot into London or into this country. And then there's certain things that you're like, yo, this is man's thing actually. Like really, man has a culture. Like it's different because growing up when we used to watch TV, the only black culture that I used to see on TV was Black American culture. Do you know what I mean? Which is why,
With
like,
the odd Patrick and EastEnders.
Yeah. But then I
What's
would.
the other one? The mute one?
Ooh.
Oh, Winston.
Winston.
Yeah,
Winston, big Winston.
Yeah, Winston, yeah.
But
Swear that
like
was still there.
I wouldn't even call that. Didn't even feel like culture. Just felt like you just put a man there.
Just
Whereas
token.
Man,
when,
just poor, man.
do you know what I'm saying?
just
Whereas when
token.
you're watching American TV or even American music, you're seeing, oh, like this the cult, like this is their thing. Like if man was watching Moesha growing up or Sister or Fresh Prince, they will always have them episodes where it's like, oh, this is the blackness. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like growing up as Black British youths, we kind of looked at that at first because there was nothing. I mean, we had Desmond's to be fair, but that was like a older generation. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Shout
feel
out
like that's
Desmond's as
I think that was well to me that felt like a step above us. Like the generation a few years older than us probably latched onto that a bit more than what our generation
Bro,
would.
Desmond was fucking old school, and I always forget that it was shot in Peckham as well. Like I know exactly where it was shot, but that was like that was one of the only Black British shows. Maybe there's more that I'm missing. I'm sure there's another one. I can't remember what it's called, man. But yeah, so just to go on your point about like not really like the only way man really identified with Black Britishness growing up was through football, through. Not even music at like when man was early there because no one had, it didn't seem like no one would ever.
The door weren't open.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, you had like pretty much Craig David.
Yeah, like
That's
Garage.
it.
Yeah.
David.
And I'm sure there was other people, but man didn't really like. It didn't feel like a scene or a culture or anything. It was just like, you're cutting through, and I respect it for you cutting through, but that's about it. What about you, Joe?
My thing about Black British growing up was more of a. I think touching off what you both said, I didn't feel like I was Black British. Not like I felt like I was pushed out of something. I just felt like my culture growing up wasn't very much British. There's always going to be, even if we're living here in our families and whatever, there's a lot of traditions and ways we go about things, even just normal life, that's been influenced from our homeland. If it's anywhere in Africa, anywhere in the Caribbean, there's certain things we do in our household that we know that our white British friends don't do. It's not that
100.
It's not that we're that that I'm not better or they're not better. It's just we do things different.
Yeah, it's just arting.
And I've always known that. So it's like, okay, cool. They're British and I'm meant to be British, but except for going to school and doing normal
Drinking a one tea.
Yeah, like what's so British about me?
Yeah.
And then like what you said, it's like a lot of us do clutch to our homelands again. So it's like even small things, even having a traditional dish each week or whatever.
Or opening the cupboard and making yourself some call it Milo, some call it Milo. You don't really know.
All these things like
For real.
most of us are lucky to have some sort of family or grandparents, and it gets even worse there.
Yeah. It
Like
gets more intense. It's
it's way more intense
because it's the first generation. The first generation immigrants. They never left their home country.
Yeah.
They've just moved.
Yeah.
Their culture is raw and they've been here for like 50, 60 years.
Exactly.
Like, and it's just exactly the same.
That's what I'm saying. Like nothing's changed. So it's like you get closer to that homeland thing. So it's like, because most of us have got that, it's like, where do I go for the Britishness for me to feel British? Like other than going to school, some of us may play outside and blah, blah, blah. So that was me actually like young.
Yeah.
The more that I grew up, the black British thing to me was very, like when I hear it now, there's a lot of separation. It's like I feel like black British is separate from all other groups of people. It's like we do our thing and we mix with all else, but we're still separate in a weird way.
Yeah.
And then even in that separateness, we're even separate even more because you get the
It's
silly
just so
Caribbean
disjointed.
versus the
But
Africans.
do you know what I have to acknowledge about all of that stuff? I feel like it's the same way when we talk about music, we talk about like the UK scene is hella young. Like, and when I think about when man really says that, man just saying like the black British culture that we know is hella young.
Yeah, very
like
young.
it's hella young.
Yeah, very young.
There was such a difference between, I remember growing up, like if you were African, you didn't want to say you were African because you would be bullied.
Yeah.
And it's like even down to having like, cause I was talking to my mum about this because obviously I've been looking for a place and I was thinking, fam, I feel like when I first started applying for jobs, and I would feel like my surname would shake me out of certain things. Like back in, do you know what I mean? Before man had the experience and stuff like that. So even like being like bully or, but not, let's say teasing, bullying, whatever, for like having a black name. Do you know what I'm saying? Not saying that, you know what I'm saying, that other names aren't black, but having like a rooted African name.
Roots name, yeah.
And it was like, oh, this is like, when I look back, I'm like, oh, that was very interesting because now, bro, I am so happy. Like when I think about my surname and stuff like that. Because obviously my mom's from the Caribbean and her surname is France. And I remember us having a conversation about like, bro, like, don't you think like most of these Caribbean names is just like really wild? Because like the root of it is you really know where them names come from. Like you really know, like with the Caribbean, you know that there was some sort of slave trade within it that gave you that name. Because no black person should be called France or something like that. Like that's, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Oh yeah, it's true. But yeah, so that's what I feel. It's like young. That was how I felt. I'm not black British. I'm just black in Britain.
Yeah,
that's what I felt. The older I got, the more I saw the separateness.
Yeah.
Of things, and the more you dig, the more you see the separateness from just black British hair to the Caribbeans versus the Africans. Then even sometimes it gets down to ages. Oh, you're a little boy from here now. You're and it's just like, where's the unitedness? I think, but as I've gotten older and this scene of ours has blossomed more. Obviously, it's still young.
Yeah, and it's also sorry, go on.
Right, no, it's still young.
Yeah.
As we all know, but a scene of us has brought a lot more togetherness in terms of just, it doesn't matter if you're Caribbean, doesn't matter if you're from anywhere in Africa, doesn't matter how old you are, really. If we're all in a scene together, there is still a bit of but more so we're together. And there's been a lot of examples throughout the years of where we're banded for together. Like even the tune we just played, and Bashi is just talking about, it's more of a togetherness than what I felt growing up.
Yeah.
100%.
Because growing up, I didn't feel it was like, we can be proud of someone on TV.
Yeah.
But more time, that person was a complete stranger.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, it's a lot more effective because it's our next door neighbor that's taking a penalty in the finals, or it's a flipping next door neighbor that's in America shooting flipping snowfall and all these big ass. Like now it's more of a, this is a, and they will still come back to the ends and be normal.
But the thing is, I grew up like him.
I
grew up like her. Like we all grew up together.
Exactly.
I think school plays a big part in that because most of like our school and most of the schools I know in South London were predominantly black. Yeah. And it was like living in South London, I never felt like a minority. Do you get what I'm saying? Because everywhere I turn, I'm just seeing black. You know, everywhere's black.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? And I feel like that was also such. I'm kind of happy and I'm grateful that was, because I know that there's a lot of black people who discover their blackness, like maybe through, I wouldn't say through the internet, but obviously if you've grown up with a lot of, like, you grew up with a lot of white people and stuff like that, when you find out, oh, this is like black Britishness or this is that, sometimes what I felt is that because you're trying to catch up, it's like when a man's a bad boy or something, or a man doesn't turn bad until he's 18, 19, he'll tend to overtly try and mash your works.
Go all the way the other way. Like,
because you're
doing the most in order to
make up for lost time.
Yeah, in order to catch up in the race, basically.
That's what a lot of mixed race people do, you know? Like, there's a lot of mixed race people that's grown up out of London, whatever towns or cities.
Yeah.
Because I've got, like, our cousins that's done the same thing, so that's the only reason why I'm saying.
Well, you can say it, fuck all that, man.
Where they grow up and they
don't want to get attacked.
Bro, I don't have time for it.
Do you know what it is? Sorry, because this is white people do that same thing. Well, I got a black mate.
Yeah, all of that stuff. But so they'll have a black dad or black mum and a white whatever, and they're growing up, and it's more on the normal side because they're not surrounded by black people. They're growing up normal, everything else. Then I don't know what clicks, and they start going onto their black side nans a bit more and start meeting the black side of the family more and start eating a 2-2 soul food and 2-2 things, and then before you know it, like, they just overtly just want to be around it more. Which at the same time I get something you ain't been around and you learn that it's a part of you. You want to search that a bit more.
Plus, I guess when people also tell you that you're not that. I don't know how it's for You're not
exactly
that. You're not that. Yeah.
You're not really like black. You're not fully.
Exactly.
You're not really
and
white.
it's kind of like Aryan mentality. Like you're not fully like not. You're like, you know, like you're a little muggle kind of.
Yeah.
God, it's
For
true.
real, yeah.
No,
I
it's true.
get what you're saying. I get what
I'm
you're
trying
saying.
to say, but I kind of echo what Temz is saying in regards to like being grateful, because my first, outside of the feeling alienated to British culture, black British culture, because I'm hanging on to my heritage and my parents' heritage, my first, dare I say it, step into black British culture came from the black communities. And the black, when I say the black community, I'm literally talking about the estates.
Yeah.
Because that's where, don't get me wrong, there's massive fractures and segregation because of those estates. But at least opportunity, like of course the first generation immigrants came over, and then our parents are the second generation immigrants that were born here. Some were born in the homelands. But what people often don't deep is that in these pockets of South London and South West London, these second generation immigrants and the first generation immigrants had to suffer a lot of adversity in order to create a space where we could embrace it as a black community for ourselves, or as black families. You know what I'm trying to say? And even though over the course of time of our come up, those black communities have disintegrated more and more through, I would say, gentrifying and like ethnic cleansing in certain neighborhoods and stuff like that. But just as big a problem is the crime levels and the unhealthy competition, should I say, from the communities that we've grown up in, has created another problem. It was still the inside. Without that, how would we be sitting here today, influenced by our neighbors or figureheads, or whether it's this country or another country? How far away from drawing inspiration from those individuals would we be if our parents and our grandparents didn't suffer that adversity and racism and being in an area just surrounded by people of people of the majority, should we say, just being like basically oppressed on, basically. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think what's mad is, like, we all benefited from having that sort of foundation where they went through the hardship, they went through everything. Like, I can't imagine having to come to a country. All right, cool, I know the language, but like, I don't feel welcome here at all. And the only people that I can kind of latch onto is I'm just latching onto people that look like me. We all don't have money. Most people, like when my dad came to this country from Nigeria, I can't remember what year. It was probably the 80s. Like I remember him telling me like him and like he was living in Stockwell, and him and like 10 brethrens or whatever, they used to just live in a house, bro. Like that was it. And I remember thinking, rah, like that's mad. So sometimes when I have conversations with my dad, well, this was probably much earlier, and I understood why he was so like adamant on like university and stuff like that, because you have to remember, like, we benefit from having this freedom where we can do a podcast, blood. We can chat shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can chat shit.
We can be here chatting shit and people will be listening.
Bro, we can also, you get me? We can also make money. We can do whatever. Like, they didn't have any of that, bro. It was just, listen, I got to help family back home. I've also come to a new land where I need to build stuff for myself. For my dad, especially, it was just like, I've come from Nigeria. I need to get an education. That's the only way that I see myself succeeding. That's the only route of success that is available to me as an African man or a black man that's coming to this country. Not fucking, I might as well go, let me try and rap. You know what I mean? Let me try and do some athletics. You get what I'm saying? And you find out with a lot of like immigrant families or minority families where you get the older generation and they will just look down at, until the bread starts coming, they'll look down at anything because they're like, bro, like,
you got
what is this fantasy shit you're talking about?
You think is this what I broke my back to get this opportunity for you to be doing this?
Yeah.
Are you joking me? Are you joking me? You're not going to be a doctor. Are you mad?
You're telling me that you're going to be a painter. What are you talking about, brother? Go on paint in your yard and paint when you're not at work. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like we tend to overlook that because that's just life, innit? It's just the same way that the generation that's younger than us will overlook like the accessibility of having the internet and like being able to invest in whatever stocks at such a young level, and having the internet to be able to see, all right, what exactly are taxes? What exactly is this? What exactly is that? How do I build my credit and stuff like that? Because like growing up, we didn't really have no one to really show us that, because our parents' mindset was more of a, I need to keep my head above water. It was a survival mentality. It wasn't, some parents were definitely, but it wasn't a case of, oh, let me just flourish here. Let me just, like, bro, I'm here on my J's. I've come, and the only things that I've got is the fucking clothes on my back. That's it.
And couple familiar faces around.
That's it. Every friend that I make and whatever, like, we're gonna be family. And this is why you find with most black British, not black British, just black people in England, yes, jarring, you know. Most black people in general, you find like, when I say that's my auntie, that's my uncle, because they came
together.
Do you know what I mean? They came,
together.
You came from Antigua, I came from Guyana. We don't know anyone else here. We grew up together as brother and sister, basically. Like, you're my dog, you're my dog. Obviously, when I start having kids, I grew. See that lady? Yeah, that's your auntie. You don't need no backstory. You don't need no nothing, because if you knew the backstory, that person held me down when this country wanted nothing to do with, man. Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely. But it's mad because when you're talking about like most of the what's that second generation?
Yeah.
Coming here just to work and just to do things is mad, because recently I've seen some scientific facts back it, but most of the creatives, like us or our children, whatever, most of the creatives, it runs in the family, and there's some sort of, like, say for example, your dad was a hustler, he had the shop, he was out here getting money, in a weird way, that gene has passed down into you and your hustle. It's not the exact same thing.
It can't be, because he failed, and I'm not gonna come on, I'm out here.
But you're a hustler. And like the mad thing about it is that my mum and her music and she got that from her mum and sisters. And it runs into you, even though we've come here, like they've come here to work and there's always something in them that they can't pursue right now because they're trying to stay afloat. Head above water. I need to make sure there's always something that it's like we're living out their
dreams.
dreams.
Yeah.
In a weird way, like they just needed to provide. But if you have a talk with your mum or your dad or your family,
And find out what they...
and you start learning about their even if it's hobbies or passions, like put work aside. What do you feel? And then it's like wow, like you liked Finn as well, and this is what I'm doing.
Because you know it is, most of them never even had the sort of the benefit of having hobbies. Like,
Exactly.
no, I don't know if benefit's the right word, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they
but I
didn't
know
even
what
have
you
like
The luxury.
the luxury. There you go. That's the word.
The
Exact
luxury
word.
wasn't there, bro.
The luxury of having
There's
hobbies.
pressure from all angles. There's pressure from people back home because no one wants to hear that you're over there.
Being a failure. Sorry, go on.
You're over there wasting, squandering the opportunity of a lifetime because we've all been back home, bro. We've all been back home and we've seen how there's like, don't get me wrong, family is probably a little bit different, but you got your friends or people like back home, friends of the your mum and dad or friends of your grandparents and that, and then there's like their kids and there's low key a little bit of envy, like they would love nothing more than to have the opportunity that we have, and we just come over and we're just spending loose balling, spending money on dumb shit and doing things that they can't really do like that. You get what I'm trying to say?
Like most of the things, like I think we've got to be so appreciative sometimes, and I think like life is like so quick, it's so fast in terms of like the way, not the way man lives, but like just the world around, man. Like if you're constantly looking around the world, like everything's fast. We're in a rat race. We live in fucking London. Like it's rat race central. Do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes like even being able to go to McDonald's or fucking just like drive around in a car and stuff like this. I'm not saying that man can't do that back home, but it's like the luxury of like the pressure that we feel sometimes is so like self-inflicted. Yeah. That if we were actually in someone else's shoes, we'd be like, brother, man is living like a king, you know?
Yeah, bro. If man was in other people's shoes, of course there'll be adjustments that need to be made.
Yeah.
But a lot of men, probably including myself, will have days that will be like, fuck, I can't even do this.
Yeah.
This is a joke thing.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me? It's a joke thing.
It's mad because I've been back to Yard a few times now, and obviously the last time I found out about some new cousins, so I've been communicating more with families, seeing how they live, how they grew, their kids, their partners, family, just understanding more on a ground surface level. And it's like small things that I would have took for granted, or we do. Like you go back to your hometown and you stay in a hotel. It may not be the top, but to us, we're just staying in a hotel and they're looking at that like, whoa, like you're staying in and like, yeah, but it's like to them,
It's big things.
Ask them, have they stayed in a hotel before?
You're doing big time.
And it's like to them, it's like, wow, because I'm out here just grafting just to make sure that we can eat a dinner. And next one I saw as well when I was out there the past few times is the takeaway thing. Do you know how they cherish takeaway?
Yeah.
Like their thing is if they're lucky and they're working hard enough, they have takeaway.
Then they can waste.
Once.
They can literally waste the money to get a takeaway
Once.
because there's rice at home every single day.
Every day.
Every day rice at
And
home.
they'll go get a 2-piece of chicken and chips, and they eat that down to the gristle. Like that is a luxury for them. fam.
But yeah, also just to be clear, like even though we're talking about back, like don't get twisted, niggas are really flourishing back home as well.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
100.
Like, at the same time, like there's certain times, like even the way I've been seeing sort of everyone going to like Africa, to like
Ghana.
Nigeria and Ghana, like in December, it's so interesting to me because it's like there was a time where man would want to go back for family or something, but now man are phoning, man, like, yo, cuz you want to go Ghana, you want to go there, and it's like, oh, this is sick. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, obviously, man will phone you like, do you want to go fucking Cancun? Do you want to go LA? Do you want to go here? Do you want to go here? But now it's like, all right, man want to go back to a place where man is the majority. That it's just us. It's just us there. Do you get what I'm saying?
With the odd person of.
Of course. But it's just like, it's so nice. Like, even back to the sort of Caribbean African thing, because I think a lot of it is tribalism, basically. It's,
100%.
It's basically like, because if you ask both sides will tell you a different story. The African people used to look down at us when we came here. The Caribbean people, they used to act like we was like tribals, or do you know what I mean, or something like that. And it kind of seeped down into us, especially in secondary school.
It definitely did,
because that's all. Even in primary school, what am I talking about? Like, that's all man knew. Do you know what I mean? And that's what the older generation had showed man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're all black and that, but you got what? It was kind of different for me because I'm from both sides. You know what I mean? So it weren't really like, I would hear one thing from one side, and I heard it outside, and I'm like, it's wet.
It is what, isn't it?
Do you get what I'm
You
saying?
get me, like.
But when man's in school and like, I don't know why it was, and because I guess when it came to like Caribbean culture, because Caribbean had been in this country for a lot longer than Africans, like I felt like African people just looked down at, especially like the youths. Because I remember, like, there was a youth in man's school. Man would cuss him, not cuss him, but man would banter him.
Man would definitely cuss him.
Man would cuss him, yeah, because of how he spoke. Because he was fresh, or he just came to this country.
Very little thing.
No. Collar.
Oh, Collar.
Collar Wale, do you know what I'm saying? And man would just like, because I wouldn't say it was cussing, because he was cool, innit? But just because of the way man spoke, because of that, when really my man knows two languages. He knows Yoruba, and he also knows English.
Yeah.
And he's learning that English. Like, he may not be the greatest, but he's learning that. Do you know what I mean? And he's still flourishing through secondary school.
And it's mad because you say that, yeah, because the cussing's real.
Yeah,
It weren't
yeah.
banter.
Yeah.
Banter came in 2012, bro.
Yeah.
Banter-
Niggas weren't bantering still.
Yeah, niggas weren't bantering before.
weren't bantering,
It was straight. You was getting brushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if in contrast, if a guy was like fresh from Jamaica, and come back with like two patois and that, yeah, it's just literally broken down English. But men are like,
He's that guy.
rating that.
He's that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the guy. But do you know?
It's weird.
Yeah, but do you know what it is as well, man? It's because London culture, especially. This is why Black British is a bit. When man talks about Black British, sometimes man's really just talking about London. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
You should really like, right now it's become a little bit more national.
Yeah. But
a little bit.
Yeah, but for us, when I talk about Black British, I can only talk about the ends
Capital,
or London.
man.
And most of man's twang, man's slang, most of it is a hybrid of Caribbean, some American, but I'd say mostly like Caribbean. And I think as I think the younger generation, which is a bit more different, just a tiny bit, where there's some like, so I'm hearing like some African phrases, and because it seems like it's cool that man's Nigerian, or it's cool because it's not, oh yeah, they've just come to this country. No, like we were all the African kids, we were all in school together. We've grown up. Now the younger ones, like, yeah, man, this is man's thing. The rise of fucking UK Afro beats and shit like that. And I think that was another big change in sort of Black British culture when the whole like Afro beats like proper hit the ends. When you had like Afro B, you had Timbo, you had Qualms and Flavor. I know there's probably bare other man. Like,
There's loads, man.
that
You got the Afro twist
brother's
artist.
name,
I
Mr. Silver. And,
Silver,
do you
yeah,
get what I'm
love
saying?
when Temz just say Afro twist.
Afro tweets. Do you know what I mean? Because that was like the first time it was like, oh yeah, these niggas are really like, they're speaking their language, but it's a vibes, but these niggas are really from the ends, card. Man, seen these niggas about, and it's like, and it's all those people, especially the young African boys and girls growing up, looking at these youths that are like acknowledging, not even just embracing their culture. Celebrating their culture, mixing it with Black Brits, the same way that we'd have with the Caribbean music. Do you know what I mean? Or the same way you have with like even man, just the way man speaks in man's twang. Like every time we use slang, yeah, I feel like man's embracing that culture. Man's embracing what we are. Do you know what I mean?
It can only be that because the majority in this country don't understand half of it to this day. And black culture is prominent in this country now, and people still don't understand certain conversations.
Yeah. I love it though, because it makes you feel like this is ours. You know what I mean? Like if I buck a man at wherever, do you know what I mean? We're out, maybe let's say some corporate thing, or we're out somewhere else where there's just bare white, like there's bare white people. Yeah. And I go, what on, cuz? You saying good? Like, what on, brother? You saying yeah? You know what I'm saying? And then that little yeah. Or the, go on, cuz. You saying? You know what I'm saying? It just feels like
Or just a head nod.
Yeah.
Sometimes
It's
the head nod just lets you know everything.
Yeah. Especially like there's certain headlines.
Yeah.
You know that the couple one there, yeah.
That's it, you know.
That's my guy.
Yeah, you know.
You saying good today, brother? Yes, man. You know what I mean? Like sometimes
no
you
shit.
just need that, man.
No, definitely.
Sometimes you just need that, man. So I think I embrace it so much. In terms of, let's say, music, yeah, what was your first like instances of like, this is black British music, like this is man's thing, like this ain't my parents' thing or whatever. This is like
Graham.
Yeah.
Definitely grime.
Graham for me.
And like, we're all gonna probably say the same thing, but we might not actually. We might not. But my favorite grime artist is Kano. But my like when I thought, oof, we made it, we did it. It was the Dizzy Rascal.
Yeah, fix up, look sharp.
Dizzy
Boy in the
Rascal
Corner.
is my favorite grime
yeah,
artist.
yeah.
Bro, Boy in the Corner was the door opening in the music industry, bro. It was the door opening in the music industry for the black community. Don't get me wrong, we had the Soul Solids and so on and so on and so on and the groups and that, but that was like, that was it, bro. It's so it makes me want to like talking about it now makes me want to listen to the album again. That's how lit it was, bro. That's how lit it was, and I personally feel that was So Solid. You have to pay them their homage. You have to pay them their homage because they were ringing bells and bells on bells like back in the day. But there haven't really been much groups that have bust like that since. But on a solo thing, when Dizzy's decided to like not cut ties, but to separate himself or pull away from the Roll Deep thing and go on his own solo path, I think that was the door opening for solo artists. Yeah, like that's just it for me personally.
I think with me it's different because Soul Solid is literally my parents' generation.
Yeah.
So man will always rate it. Man will always know what they've done, but that's still my parents' thing. So grime was my thing. Like what I felt, oh man, as a thing. But Dizzy, it's from the sets. Four Man was like, well, we spoke about my bootleg guy John, who used to come out with the bootleg DVDs and CDs. He and I said that he gave me my first like Roll Deep set or something. And remember, this is like Dizzy, Wiley, even Tinchy, Flo, that all of them, but it had that young thing. Because remember, they're all young too. Remember, I think Tinchy was like close to man's age back then as well. So
It's still close to man's age now.
yeah, but it's like, but you know, like
back then, someone so young to be
that
so
means
prominent.
more than him being close to man's age now. So obviously, back then, and then the whole thing with Dizzy, like Dizzy was just sick, and then it's weird. Like I think there was a transition because I don't know if you guys even remember when Dizzy clashed Asher D on Choice FM.
I've heard it.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
Even sorry, go on.
But that to me, even to look back on it now, that's a transition from garage to grime. And from when the album come out, Boy in the Corner and certain tunes, like stop that, fuck that, get that, and certain things, it's
So
like
sick.
it's like Dizzy. It's true what you said. Like he opened the door to grime now being the thing that we can like, and I'm sure we can agree. Even again, I'm going to refer back to the tune Black Boys. Even tunes like that and that scene and that wave of artists that came after Dizzy and Wiley and all of that stuff. That's when it started. Like. And then you got great artists like Kano that come with flipping Home Sweet Home, that fantastic album. Man just started to, all right, cool. So we can get, all right, cool, and just started.
Yeah, because it made man feel like, because garage is man's parents'
Yeah,
like,
definitely is.
That's their music. Like at least grime, when we were growing up, it felt like this is ours. Like this is ours so much. Can man go in the playground and have a clash?
Yeah,
like
what
that,
I'm saying.
do you know what I'm saying? And that's what I know. Obviously, I know even clashing in general is, you know, where the roots derive from and that.
Yeah.
But when I think about Black Britishness and Black British growing up, like clashing, bro. What do you mean?
That's when the healthy competition starts.
Yeah, bro. Like
fully.
It's not to the point where it's okay. This is like it's garage where it's kind of far away. Now my brethren's rapping, or my brethren's doing grime, or my brethren's doing satin, or we know our brothers from over there. I will always mention like Gypset, because that was like when I think about the ends and grime. Obviously we got RA in that, but I still feel like that was a bit further. Yeah. When man was hearing Gypset, I was like, oh shit, niggas is really. Do you know what I'm saying? Niggas is really doing this, and niggas are sounding hard, and I think even more the tribalism. It was South London. Do you know what I mean? It was like, man, them man are just over there. You know,
East London was like just killing it.
Killing.
At that point, following like Dizzy's like rise and that.
Yeah.
East London were just killing it. Bro.
Yeah.
They were just
Definitely
producing
killing
artists, and artists were coming off the conveyor belt like it was a flipping football training facility. Like it was just a mad thing, and they were all immensely talented. But when the Roadsides and Gypset, mainly Gypset, I would say,
mainly Gypset for me too.
They came through and put South like.
Just talent wise,
Like, we're here, like we're here. Don't try it, like we're here.
Yeah.
You get me?
Even though we weren't really accepted in that, I always think South London was never accepted when it came to
It
rap.
wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? This is why when rap because
there's too many purists and too much. Like it's like there was some folklore about grime that.
Do you know what I think it is odd? Niggas around here were just really making slap it at man music. Do you know what I mean? Like when if you listen to grime at like growing up here, like East London, North London, like obviously there was a couple mash man talking a thing, but most people say, hey man, like show. Do you know what I mean? Like niggas was really niggas was flowing and doing all of that. But round there, man, they're talking about I make a boy around miles. Like niggas were talking that real.
But I think that's why I'm forever gonna have a thing for Krept and Conan.
Yeah.
Because it was them that, I'll be real, for me, it was them that took me off the East London, Dizzy Rascal, Kano, Lethal Bridge, Wiley's, all these people that was killing grime, remember? Them and Roadside, but it was them more. Because remember, they came in on the grime flex.
Yeah.
Bro,
So it was like, finally, I listened to grime, but now there's South London grime, but it's the man them that I see in the ends to do grime, and they're sick too. And to think that them man done that back then, obviously, I don't think they understand how much of an impact that
We'll
was.
definitely talk to them about it.
Of course.
Definitely.
But people like us back then, when we're getting into grime and we're listening to, and for them to still be around today and relevant, there's a certain connection. Obviously, we have our own connection with them, which is separate to music, and we know them and all. But like they was the first of a close proximity that started the musical thing in terms of in our heads and that tribalness of it's our people.
And do you know what it is? Even with them, I felt like Krept and Conan, well, Gypset, all of these people, especially just bad youths in general, those are man celebrities, grand.
Yeah. Come on,
That's
fam.
what I'm trying to say. This was the first insight into like South London people that were our neighbours becoming idealistic.
Yeah.
Not that they were being worshipped or anything like that.
Yeah.
But they were like, this is when, and different people from different hoods will have, like East London guys will have guys that were like, these are the guys that the maximum amounts of inspiration came from.
Yeah.
Like, there's niggas in South London. There probably can't be anyone that said that Krept and Conan or Gypset, because there's a lot of them as well.
Yeah.
That man just keep saying Krept and Conan because they're the most prominent, of course. That they didn't draw. They are not part of the reason why they started rapping or started spitting or started rhyming in the first place.
Man will be capping if they ever try to.
There is so many, and I feel like there's so many man that man don't talk about no more. What's my man? People will talk about people like Paige. Like
I was just gonna say that as well.
Paige,
like man have to give homage to. You know what it is? Because we talk about Krept and Conan, remember, they draw their influences from the close-knit of people as well, but that's the PDs.
Yeah.
SMSs.
Yeah.
Page and your Dubs, like all of the people that was very much underground. Come on, like back then, the only way you can hear about these man is if their friend says, "Well, you heard
heard
my
this
man
one,
today."
or Sticky Business,
There you go. Yeah,
Or
something like that.
Or
Sticky Business,
yeah,
you know, fam.
or turn on your Bluetooth and
yeah.
yeah. He's killing it up in East, or he's
Yeah,
killing
yeah,
it up in. He's cold.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only way that you really.
Yeah, because like there was just no accessibility like that. Unless man is selling you a DVD, yeah.
Sticky Business.
There you go. Unless you're seeing one of those DVDs and you're seeing, oh yeah, my man's really killing it up there, you don't really know nothing.
Exactly.
And I think even with Black Britishness, if and this may be a London thing as well, but like if I say like Morley's, do you know what I mean? Like, man, no, we've all got memories of Morley's because we.
Good and bad.
Everyone's got memories.
Do you know what I'm saying? Good and bad, but we
Yeah,
all
good
have
and bad.
memories of Morley's. We all have memories of fucking watching adulthood in the cinema. Like a lot of people, maybe there's like Bullet Boy and stuff like that, but we all have memories of that. Listening to Choice FM, listening to Jenny Francis. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say to American about these things because they won't get it. Like,
Yeah,
even
definitely.
all people back, they won't get that. This is
Autumn.
our thing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's our Channel U,
And
bro.
it's different to everything else.
Yeah, bro. Like, it's like we talk so casually about Channel AK, and obviously we have bants and that about Channel AK and Channel U, but that doesn't exist anymore.
I know. Exactly.
And like that was such a prominent part of man's growing up and thinking that. And this was up
Bro,
until
that was English BT.
Yeah, but
that was for us,
Yeah.
by us.
but even
only.
up until I'd say maybe like 2014, yeah, seeing a man's video. Like maybe you go to the barbers and the barbers got Channel U playing Channel AK. Seeing a man's video on Channel U, you're like, yeah, brothers, he's made it.
But,
He's boss.
yeah.
He's taking it to the next level. He's on TV. I'm in TV, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. I found my old phone the other day, and there was a video playing. Get me, one of the man them, yeah, and I was just filming it because it was like, bro's on. He's on TV. What do you mean? Like, what more does man have to do right now? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's on TV. He's made it. Even like SBTV, GRM, like these things really created. And I know we're talking more of from the entertainment side of things because I'm sure when it comes to Black Britishness, there's way more than that. But just like the music is always, I feel like music is always such a big part of culture because it represents like what's happening in the times.
I think music is like the music culture. It literally controls people.
Yeah.
So that's why so many like resonate or gravitate towards it. But I think the entertainment industry just in general, like all streams of entertainment, like because way before, I don't want to say way before, but, and I still think way before there was a Krypton Conan making their way to award shows, things like that of that nature through grime.
Mad is crap. Sorry. All that crap, man. Really cramping up, fam. Go on, sorry.
Maybe not at the highest level, but there was people in the black culture that really were. They really were playing for football clubs.
Yeah.
Really playing for
They were really playing football. They were really making it in this football team. And granted, when we were coming up younger, the money, the insane amounts of money that is documented today wasn't in football back when it was the first division or the Barclays Premiership.
Barclays enough, fucking hell.
But if your son was a footballer, you boss.
Your son's basically a fucking. He's a president.
You know what I'm
But
trying to say?
even like that, because when we think about like man knew so many talented youths in football, like growing up, bare talented youths, but we also knew that it wasn't as much as we're seeing the Andy Coles and the White Yorks and Ian Wrights. It still didn't. It still felt like, bro, this is like, bro.
There's a little bit of a disconnect. That's a little bit too far. They're gone a bit too far.
Yeah, and also at the same time, like, I know a lot of parents are busy. Do you know what I mean? Both in all fucking cultures, but like, you get me. When you're just trying to keep you and your children's head above water, sometimes you ain't got time to be taking like, I can't take you to that ball. I can't take you to that. And a lot of these youths, they never had sometimes the parents to be able to be like, you know what, you want to play ball? Let me talk to the coach after, and I'll see if there's another team you could play for as well, or there's a da-da-da-da. And like, there wasn't many of those links, like, especially like from a black British perspective or black people perspective, growing up, because you'd always find it would be like one man. Like, I think in our school, maybe one. I'm trying to think, like,
What? Not bus, but
like just who is making a living playing football. Maybe two I can think of. One of them is in America, but he's still, like, that's his living. Do you get what I'm saying? But like,
shout out Dread.
yeah, shout out Dread, man.
You might have came to this party still, but
Yeah,
Well,
that's another
Dread should have
story still.
invited me.
yeah. Even
Dread.
even Bello. You remember Bello? Innit?
Yeah.
Bello's, he's playing football in America. Like, I think he does coaching there as well. Like, made a living out there, got married out there, and everything like that. And I highly respect that, because
Respect it still.
it's not everyone that's gonna be fucking playing Barclays Premiership. But for you to take something as niche as, all right, I'm gonna. Maybe it's not working over here. I'm gonna fly over to America. I might not be playing in the MLS. It might be like legal, like fucking the championship of there, but I'm gonna make a living. Do you know what I mean? Like,
We'll get it done. We'll get it
bro,
cracking.
like, I respect that so much, and I feel like we always laugh and joke about the Project Mbappe thing and that, but if you see the fucking, like, the England under 15s and the under 16s and like, you see the black youths coming through, because now obviously man's generation and the generation just a little bit older than us, and even when those kids become older, man, no, all right, I never had the opportunity, but I'm gonna make sure if my son really wants to play ball, because I've seen it, bro. I know it, bro. Shout out one of my niggas, Sicker. He makes sure his son is in ball. Like, even when we play football sometimes, his son comes and his son comes and plays with, man. And his son is a little, like, primary school, little boy. Yeah? Then takes him to football on Saturday, takes him on football on Sunday, goes to the Arsenal games with him. Like, bro, like, we never had that growing up.
Never.
We never had that. So just to see it, it's like, bro, like, I feel warm, because I'm like, bro, that's some real nigga shit, fam.
I got the same, different setup, but I got the same kind of reward the other day, yeah? This youth come in my showroom the other day, like, yeah, bro, I need to get a car, I'm like, he's like, I need to get a car in 2 weeks. I'm like, why are you in such a hurry in that? I spoke to him on the phone, like, I'm going to come in, I live around the corner, I'm going to come in.
Yeah.
He said, oh, I said, why are you in such a hurry to get a car? Like, you can wait. He's like, yeah, but you know what it is? Like, I don't even want to see, like, come across like I'm bragging or nothing, but I was, like, playing for Kingstonian, and then basically, like, this is a 17-year-old youth. He's like, yeah, basically, like, Middlesbrough signed me. Yeah. And I got to move to Middlesbrough. And they've got me a property, and like, they moved me. I was like, why, you moving with your parents? Yeah. He said, nah, I'm moving with myself. Yeah. But obviously up there, like, one of my other friends that I came through that used to play for Kingstonian a couple of years ago, he plays for Middlesbrough first team. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'll look after you when you come up there. And I was just talking to him about cars and talking to him about players. And he was like, he was telling me that he came up through Reece James' dad's academy.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
When he said that, I was just like, bro, like, there's actually within our community, not to say that other people don't get through this academy, you know, but within our community, there's a brother that's got his son and his daughter both play football at the highest level, and he is not even. This is he's made it.
Yeah, he's good.
You know what I'm trying to say? This guy, he's probably put the work in and mashed the work for his kids to be the best that they can be. Yeah. It's time for him to kick back now. Yeah. But he's like, nah, there's more people to get through. There's more. And he's like, yeah, bro. He's like, the academy is he says, you see this guy? You see, if you're prepared to work and all that other stuff, this guy will get you signed to a club. Yeah. He's like, every so often, like, his son and his daughter, they just come to the club and they'll just come. They're the most humblest. They'll just come. No flashy car, no flashy jewelry, no showing off, no arrogance. They'll just come and kick ball with us. So the normal thing. Yeah. He's like, I was blown away. He was like, listen, when I first went to work with him, he was like, yeah, you lot all think you're all flashy and that. You got your little night tech tracksuits and you got your little earrings. You lot are nothing. You lot are no one. Yeah. Like, why do you think you can behave like this? Why do you think you can wear all this jewelry and act like you come in here late and that? Yeah. He said, if you're going to do that again, you ain't working with me. Yeah. And it was just sitting there telling me about this guy's dad. But it's like, I don't know. I don't support Chelsea. Obviously, I think shout out to Reece James. I think he's lit. I haven't seen his sister play ball, but I'll be real. But when I was talking with this brother, 17-year-old boy just got signed from Middlesbrough, gassed, about to go live out his dream. I'm like, what position you play? He's like, yeah, I play right back like Reece James. I was like, bro, yeah, you're proper out here. But I felt like I knew his dad.
Yeah.
I felt like I knew his dad.
Yeah.
I felt like with the conversations there was so much inspiration that this guy has taken from a man that didn't even play football at the highest level
and doesn't need to do what he's doing right now.
This guy never played football at the highest level when you got him signed to a fucking championship club.
Yeah, bro.
It's madness.
Yeah, bro.
It's like bro. My heart felt so warm for the kid, bro.
Yeah.
So warm. I sat down and I was talking to him about cars and talking to him about life and talking to him about like not getting caught up with.
You started to big bro him without even
I
knowing
was
he was
big
doing
broing
it.
him. Bro, I was with the guy for 2 hours and he didn't buy no car, fam. I was with the guy for 2 hours and I was big broing him. I was like, listen, you see these men that are like in the Prem and that, because I said, you're going to be in the Prem soon, bro. Yeah. He's like, hopefully. I'm like, no, come on, man. We got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about this. Like, you're going to be in the Prem soon. And then he's like, I said, listen, there's certain man, you tell them what you think, innit? You're closer to the football scene than me. There's certain people that they went to certain clubs, they left certain clubs in the hood. You're going to Middlesbrough now and you're going on your own, innit? So I said, bro, please, for the sake of your career, I know you probably got a good support unit with your mum and your dad and that because you're young youth. But don't start coming back to the ends with every opportunity you get.
Yeah. Enjoy it, man.
Just stay there and focus on what you've been signed to do, innit? You get what I'm trying to say?
Enjoy
So
it,
what do
man.
you think? Certain men have left the ends in their clubs at the highest level, gone to clubs near where you're going, and it hasn't worked out. And he started ruining off names like, I think this guy could have done things better. I've seen this guy come back to the ends and at the parties, and I see him coming down to goals and flipping in Croydon, and he's playing foot. He says he's training, but he's just playing 5-a-side with the guys, and he's got big entourage, and everyone's just leeching. I'm like, you understand. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? But it's just, I was so heart-warmed by that conversation with him.
I also think we when it comes to like footballers and that, we forget how dedicated these little youths are, especially from a little age. You know, sometimes you don't understand dedication until you start going through it, and you might be a lot older. Like, if you want to be a footballer and shit like that, you got to start from the day you say you want to be a footballer is the day you better act like a footballer. Yeah, like when all the times when you hear about these stories about these youths, Wayne Rooney, all these brothers, obviously I know it's back in the but when you hear about these brothers, they're the brothers that'll say, from 8 years old or whatever, he was kicking ball outside until night time. I had to drag him in, 13, 14, and carried on, because it's one of those professions, where you have to dedicate your life, and you have to dedicate your life early. You have to know that you really want it. Another thing, what I thought of while you was telling that story is like, even the sort of the repayback now of someone like Storms, in terms of like Mallory Blackman releasing her autobiography through his like book. Publishing. I was gonna call it a label, and I was like, it's not a label. Do you know what I mean? And, do you know what I mean? But it's something like that, because I grew up I was an avid reader growing up, like loved reading, and she had a book series. I'm not sure if you lot read it. It was called Noughts and Crosses. No. But it was wild. So it was like a dystopian world where like the hierarchies were flipped round. So in that world, I think like black people were like the ones on top per se, and the white people were the ones like on the. It was just flipped round, and do you know what I mean? Like so, you know what I mean? But growing up reading that, man, I was probably in secondary school, and it was such an interesting read, to the fact where it's just like, we will always look, like humans in general will always look for a reason to put someone down. If we was all the same color right now, there would probably be a hierarchy through eye colors. They would say
they'll create divide for some. Something will be picked on until divide is created.
Exactly. So even like, I know if I was reading them books at that time, I know he was reading them books at that time. He's obviously said it. He said it in a couple of songs. I think even in his new video, she's in the video as well. Yeah, and it's like, you've taken that lady who was one of your inspirations maybe into getting to reading, because a lot of us, when it comes to reading, sometimes it's one book that's, maybe you're not an avid reader, but you know, like there's a certain book series that you've read and it's touched you. Like, yeah, bro, I'm not a reader, but you see when I read Harry Potter, or you see when I read yeah. And I think Mallory Blackman's from, I don't know where she's from. I know she's from the ends. But I remember even my brother, like, she came to Peckham Library one time, and my brother was all taking pictures with her and that, like, and the fact that Storms has been able to see this person as an inspiration, got into a position of power, and being able to be like, you know what, you don't even need to go through all of these fucking publishing deals where they're going to try and short circuit whatever. Come and do it through my thing. Like, I looked up to you, and now I'm sort of...
I've got a platform that I could elevate your thing even further. I can make sure... I want to see your
story
work inspire more people like me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Even like Keisha the Sket, bro. Like, that's another Black Brit. Like, if you're of a certain... You know Keisha the Sket. Man, like, niggas was only... Man were only reading if it was Keisha the Sket. Do you know what I mean? Man weren't reading in school and that, but man would go through the fucking text thing and be reading Keisha the Sket like it's fucking
like
Harry Potter, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, bro? Like, trust me, everyone knew, and trust me, there was no fucking, it wasn't Netflix or that. But when you link up with someone, you be like, brother, you read the Keisha the Sket thing? Man, I'm telling you, yeah, brother, you see what happened there? Like, we was engaged, and it was through it was through text. Remember that? It's not iPhone text. It was bracketed off.
SMS.
Do you know what I mean? It was SMS, bro.
It was...
Bro, there's certain words, just a 3 letters. The word might be 7, 8 letters. It's 3. You better get that. You better know what that word means. Do you know what I'm saying?
better hit that abbreviation.
And even like someone like the author of that, I think Storms also like got the book or something. Like, there was like a remaster of the book or something through the label. And it's like the same thing you're saying with Reece James. Like, Reece James, that never needed to do none of that shit, bro.
None of that
Storms
shit,
didn't need to do nothing. He could have sat back and made his meals and just been like, I'm cool. Do you know what I mean? But that's the only way like this Black British shit is gonna grow, bro.
Yeah, man. There's like massive degrees of like reparations, and I think we're finally getting into a start. Like, and when I say rich, and I say the industry and the culture, the Black culture is rich at the moment. I don't really mean that like in monetary terms. Even though that comes with a lot of people being in the space. Yeah. But like the lower level problems that the black culture and Black community faces, the things that are pushed more so than the successes. Like so I call it, let me call it the shortcomings of the Black culture. Like gang related things, crime, whatever. I think like we're in the very, very like infancy of the reparations of that sort of area of Black British culture. And like everything, I think things have to get worse before they get better. But the more and more prominence there is within the areas of influence in the Black culture, is the faster or the more consistent the reparations are going to be. So, it's, I think when it comes to the whole crime part of things, I think things, you guys may have different views on it, and viewers might have different views on it as well. But right now, I don't think that it's ever been a worse time. Like it's at the worst it's ever been for me growing up in this country. Like crime in Black communities, in all communities, but Black communities, because that's where I'm from. Is mad right now. Like it's insane. It's insane, especially like in the London. Like, but anyway, I don't want to be like negging anything out or anything like that. But I just feel like with the amount of like inspiring people in different industries, from your Ian Wrights and your Reece Jameses to your Lewis Hamiltons to your Stormzy's to your Idris Elbas. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say?
Like, Damson Idris, John Boyega.
There's different. Not that all, and I say that even though all of these spaces are creative, and if I was to, these are people that are in our faces. If I was to do more research, there'll be surgeons and
everything,
and in all industry. But because there's more of this, I feel like there's a lot more people that can be engaged. Your Anthony Joshua. I can go on and on, bro. But there are people that are gonna like be more engaged. We grew up wanting to be things or wanting to do things that our parents what our parents wanted to do. Because we were growing up wanting our parents to be proud of us. Whereby these guys have that pressure as well, but they also have ample blueprints, like massive success stories. You want to be a rapper, there's a blueprint of how people. There's someone that looks like you that can even if you watch them close enough, they will tell you exactly how they done it. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's different now, and I feel like that's something that we never really had because we grew up in a generation where so many people in those fields were just finding their feet. Like everyone was the blind was leading the blind until the doors opened. That makes sense. So it's just interesting times for things now, bro. But looking at it like over the years as like for us growing up and all of the people that have come through, it's just it's massive inspiration. It's massive inspiration, even to the point where just us three getting here. Like it's just massive inspiration for me.
Do you know what it is as well? And what I love about this, why I keep going back to this Black British thing, is because, for example, let's say John Boyega and Dabs are Dangerous. When you see them doing their thing and they have their interviews, you could tell my man's from around there. Do you know what I mean? Like, my man is me. I'm him. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, the way they're speaking, like the colloquial terms they're using within like their interviews, like it's like, you're Black British. Do you get what I'm saying? You're obviously, we know where your parents are from, but like me and you are the same, bro. Do you know what I mean? And obviously that's an easy example because both of them are from South London and most like more South East London. But it's just like, bro, I'm so like, when I think about it, like, and I just take myself away and I just kind of just look at it, like, just look at it from a bird's eye view or look at it from whatever, it's such great times that we're living in, bro. Like, just what you were saying about seeing the blueprint. Because I remember growing up, bro, once again, the only man I was really looking up to were the gangsters or the gangster rappers or whatever. Like, there was nothing else. Like, as much as man say Andy Cole and all these guys that, of course, man kind of looked up, but it still felt so far away. Like, I can't say to man that I looked up to like Frank Bruno and stuff like that because it was
too much of a disconnect. It
was too much of a disconnect. Whereas now I feel like the disconnect is so small. Like, it's extremely small. Like, even obviously you have Fem Felon who used to be a rapper and now he's a football agent. I didn't even know that, like, one of my brethrens, it's only because I started checking his stories and like one of my brethrens, like, he works within that industry. He works like for the same fucking thingy as him. Or he works for Fem Felon's company, and it's just like, when would you have ever had an opportunity to step into being like a football agent? Like,
into a football agency.
When?
Ran by a guy from the ends like us.
Bro, like, it's just so inspiring.
Like, 20 years ago, these are unimaginable things.
Yeah.
These are unimaginable things. These are pipe dreams we build in our minds. Like, one day, I'm going to be running this and this is what's going to be happening.
Bro,
like, what?
Even thinking about, obviously I know this is like a big sprout, but even in terms of like Link Up and Rash, like, without Link Up and Rash, this wouldn't be happening. Do you get what I'm saying? Not saying it's a direct sort of link, but just those, like, you don't know the trickle down effects, and especially like Jamal, Posty and Rash, how many individual lives they've not only saved and also like created. Do you know what I mean? How many jobs they've created within that field, because there was nothing there, bro.
Bro, an untold amount. They've created roles for things that people didn't even think would ever exist.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm trying to say? Look, we've got veggie chunks over here just chilling out. You get me?
Yeah, bro. We're just chilling. Right now, we're here just literally just chilling, just doing a pod and just talking about like some good shit. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like, I feel really like, I remember growing up, I think all of us probably wanted to be like at some point like Black American, like because it was the culture. Like when if we're talking about like the most like, what's the word, man? Up front or the most forecasted or whatever, the most prominent culture we could see, it was always Black Americans. You know what I mean? And it like in Africa and in the Caribbean, you had your own artists, you had your own celebrities, you had your own actors. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what you're seeing on. But us, we didn't like. It was a bit
a wash.
Yeah, like I remember the only like when I think about Black actors or whatever growing up. Like I can't really remember many. I remember I wouldn't even call. Well, I guess you call Lenny Henry an actor actually. To be fair, but like even watching the Lenny Henry show, and I know obviously it was more for our parents really because he's of that generation. But like even just watching it and you catching the little jokes and it's the same old shit. Like man bringing in food to work and man are smelling like what's that foreign smell? Do you know what I mean? And it's like yeah, I can relate to that. Like now you have actors and that. Man, that's in fucking Star Wars. Are you kidding me, bro?
It's crazy.
Are you kidding? Not no Degge show that's on fucking BBC 4. No offense to anyone that's been on shows on BBC 4. Do you know what I mean? But a man is in Star Wars, and not just a man, bro. Are you from Peckham, bro? Are you kidding me? Are you like how is that? Like if I was growing up and someone told me that, I'd be like, brother,
never.
Stop taking the piss. Even when my man done Attack the Block, if man was to say, yeah, my man's fucking gonna be he's gonna be in Star Wars as one of the main characters. So maybe a little cameo thing, you know what I mean? Like
maybe a little Winston.
Maybe a little Winston, you know what I mean?
A little Winston, fam. No words, but we see you.
We see that, and that's what we didn't mind. Like growing up, we was happy to be the. I see Winston. Like black people know Winston, you know, cause Winston didn't have much lines, but
he had no lines.
We know Winston, dog. Do you know what I mean? Winston's man's obviously man had Patrick Truman and the other. They started to cut True and stuff like that. But
shout out Winston though, cause he's a staple.
Bro.
He is Black British. You get me? He is Black British, fam.
Bro. Now man's got rappers, and man, I've got Jose Mourinho, and they're like, "Are you kidding?" Bruv, if I was growing up and a man said to me, yeah. Imagine Storm saying to you like, growing up, yeah, one time I have Jose Mourinho in man's video. But,
shut up.
Get the fuck out of here.
You feel me?
Get on your grind, nigga, because you talking about some wild things now.
Man will be like, what's Jose Mourinho going to do for you?
Yeah.
Are you going to be a footballer?
Yeah,
no.
Exactly, bro.
Man will try to pop it down like so quickly.
Exactly, bro.
Make it sound like such a dumb idea because to us it's so unimaginable.
Yeah.
But all of these things are unimaginable until they actually happen.
Bro, even like, sorry, I know I've got such, so I love this thing. Like, even like, I remember seeing like Stormzy and Section and them win like mobile awards. Like, and what I found funny about the mobiles, because mobiles didn't really care about niggas, especially in the ends, for a long time, bro.
Years.
Bro, the mobiles, like, no one really tuned into the mobiles at a point because, like, the best rappers are always at Jay-Z, and it's like, oh, unfortunately, Jay-Z is not going to be able to. Yeah, that, of course he's not, bruv. Bruv, he doesn't even know this is happening, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, unfortunately, there's not a bit, bruv. They're not even getting the award, bro.
Nah, bro.
Get me?
It's just gonna be in the fucking DHL box, bro, just chilling.
Like,
what's
that's
that?
It.
I don't know. Open it.
That's it, bro. Like, oh, what's this mobile? What's this music of black? Whatever. Then man was seeing Krypton Conan and like all win it, and we're like, oh shit, swear down, this is possible. Swear down, like. Man can win awards. do you know what I'm saying? Like, swear down, even to like the GRM awards where man's literally celebrating man's culture. The fucking, what's the thing that just happened? The
Gala.
What the gala thing?
The Guap Gala. Man is celebrating the culture on a more personal level, where it's about the creatives in the industry, maybe the people that don't always get the highlight, that don't always get shown, like, and they're not on the level of, like, maybe financially is the level of some people that are in the GRM. Like, bro, we're just celebrating man's thing, bro. That's what we're doing. Like, enjoy it, bro. Like, just try a thing, bro. That's what I'm saying. All the youths, or even if your man's age or not even bit older, just try a thing, bro. Fuck it. Like, build on. You don't know what you individually are doing can build for Black British culture, and you never know who you're fucking inspiring, bro.
don't
Do you know
know,
what I mean?
bro. We don't know. We're just learning. Oh, I'm just learning on a individual and personal level, like now. And I'll be real. This is something that man was like. These two will share the same fucking view as me. Or this is something that man done every day anyway. And man just sits here and does it for the fuck of it. To be fair, let's have it right. And it's only until people started to approach me and say certain things that I'm like, raw, like you're actually watching me and my two closest friends just on camera, just talking about what we would usually talk about.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Topic wise, we've made it more structured.
Yeah.
And less about football.
Yeah.
Because that's what would be the dominating,
Factor,
part of the
yeah,
conversation. But the fundamentals are exactly the same, bro. Like we're just here. And this alone is inspiring other people.
Yeah.
Get me?
I got a question for you, Joe. When do you remember like the first time like you got like recognition for like everything you do? Like maybe you was out on the street or something, you was like, oh shit, like this is it's starting to.
I can't remember the first time because a lot of my thing was Hardest Bars started. Obviously, me and Basketball, shout out Basketball.
Yeah.
And the first thing that kind of happened that made us think, cool, was obviously it was Twitter days and Blade was like, yeah, brothers, I'm feeling this one. And I was like, wow, man listens to Blade, man knows Blade. When man was rapping, do you think Blade said, yeah, brother, I like your thing?
Yeah.
But man's doing something different on the music thing, and a man said, yeah, brother, like I rate that thing still. It's like,
it made you
okay,
realize you was on the right
cool.
path.
And then I think the next time after that, it was like, I think it was Shamon actually. Shout out Shamon. We went to interview Jaja. Obviously, back then it's just like, all right, cool, you're going to interview Jaja or whatever. But when you deep it, if man wasn't linking Jaja for this, man would have linked him, but what would man be linking him for? And at that time, I was like, wow, man's linking these people in these, like obviously he's saying, yeah, come to his studio in town. That's just after Fins was a bit like,
Bit hot over, bit warm
like,
over there.
Like, oh, go to a man's end. Like, and to think that you're going there for work, and a man is welcoming you into his establishment for work. It's so funny because George the Poet was there, just chilling, just on that. And to think what he's doing now, like even I hear Sneakball say it all the time, but Jaja was the one who paid for his flight back from Nigeria back to the ends. So just in terms of that alone, Jaja has been so pivotal in helping someone like Sneakball. He's a staple in this whole UK music,
Legend,
British
man.
for young kids.
Legend.
But then,
Shout out,
but not even going to like Jaja and the PDC movement. And yeah, there's a lot of the negatives, but there's a lot of positives because look how much man from Brixton are rapping and doing things that's helped their family and their communities. And a lot of man has made a lot of legal money that they can do good things around the hood. Just offer someone doing something with their friends, like how we're doing the podcast. They was just out there just trying to do a record company, and because we've all seen it, and it's funny, but it shows that man was doing something proper. Because remember when they done the professional photos, and everyone had the professional photos.
Oh, I love them
White
pictures.
t-shirts.
Yeah,
You remember them?
Bro, man even did those pictures just because we saw the PDC one.
Exactly. And back then it's like, what? You know they must have been there. Oh, these man must think that. Look at them trying to look. But think of the aspiration that they was aiming for, and look what it's done on a trickle down effect for us seeing it and just thinking, wow, what if man's gonna take this man serious? Then we need to do some proper pictures. Like, and it's like these small things. So when I linked him and that, and I was thinking, wow, like man, just linking these people that some hood people link for some way other stuff. I'm linking these, even though man don't agree with him and man don't chat to him and he's weird.
Yeah.
And he's weird.
Who?
But even Mike GLC fam.
Yeah.
You see when man linked him for the first time. Yeah. Brother, I was in awe, fam. Like, I used to listen to this guy on channel, and to think that I'm linking him for
Business.
my business.
Business.
Like, and he was acknowledging me and Bath for our show. And man spent the day with him and he bought us a food and we're just reasoning and we're talking and da-da-da-da. Like all of them things, like going home just thinking, fucking hell, like when Channel U was popping and these man was popping, man will just think that if I ever see him, he's going to be in West End, trying to shop man a TV. CD when he was on his grind and he was doing his thing. But to think man's linking these people off the man's strength, thing, it was thinking, oh my God, this is crazy. Or the one that I always say is that when I started, like when man's going to link Rash in Northwest and that, like at a certain point, I realised every single UK person on my playlist, I knew them. Yeah. Or I got their number in my phone. Or I'll see them somewhere and they'll know me for my thing. I was like, fucking hell, this is just...
Levels.
This is just
wild
now. Like this is just, and again, it's not anything to do with any negative stereotype or it's just straight music business and something. And to break it down even more, it's a show where we're celebrating people. Your bars are sick. I'm showing you that your bars are sick. There's nothing else. I weren't trying to phone man, come and link me and give me the. It's just listen. You released this tune last week.
It's hard still.
I acknowledged it because you are hard, and that bar is hard. I know it takes a lot to write sick bars. I'm telling you, you're sick. And man's just building and linking people. It was like, fucking hell, this is just crazy, fam. Like, it's just, and then to fast forward to now, and I done some HB freestyles the other day, and you was like, yeah, Joe, you know, fam, like I came up, like watching you, man, like it's a pleasure. Like in the moment, I'm like, yeah, love, bro. But like, you know, when you go home at the end of the day and you think about things, a man said he came up watching me. What?
Doesn't even sound real.
What?
Do you know
like,
what I mean?
all me and Bob was doing the same thing. We really just go and chat on the phone about things, but we brought it to a camera.
Yeah.
And that man's telling me that he grew up on me, and the youth that said that he's doing his thing. Yeah. Thinking, wow, like what? You came up with what? And the amount of people that. Like I can say bare names, but even one that just pops to my mind as well is when Manlink did that and he done his behind bars that didn't come out, and he come with bounce on that, he done his behind bars, and then they come to that outro side and he was like, yeah, shout out Joey, like, cool, like we're all in, and then like I think he was gonna do it again, but he was talking through the mic so we could hear him, and he was like, yeah. Man had to say your name, Joy, because I swear down, like in jail, like man was watching your thing. Again, it's like, what?
You never know who's watching. People always say shit like that. You never know.
But it was random. Like, it was just, I was thinking, what? Like, what? Like me? Like,
man's just doing natural shit.
Yeah, just natural shit. Like this, like you said, we sit down and we talk about things like we normally did in his house. Go to his house on a Saturday, buy Chinese, watch the highlights and some music videos, just chat. And just chat. We just chat about a range of things and we thought to put it on camera. And again, I'm glad now all of us has been through it. We've gone outside of some sort and someone said something about the podcast. But to break it down on a deeper level, everyone that's come to us comes on a, yeah, bro, but I see your things. So it's bringing them some sort of joy. In this 100%. World, we don't know what anyone is going through, but you see when you can give people some sort of hope or joy or something to smile about, it's a different level of a, wow, like, thank you, bro. Like, and remember, everyone that's come up to us has either said, listen, brother, I know you don't know me, but your thing, or brother, I can't like your things. It's always some love and appreciation. Not one person has come to us.
Positive energy still.
No one's come to us and said, "Oh, you lot are dickheads." And what do you mean trap is only? Nothing.
You're only really gonna get that on the internet, innit? Because in real life, no one's really gonna be like gonna be giving it.
In real life, where it matters, yeah, man are coming to us smiling, happy, brother. I can't think and remember, we don't know nothing about, we don't know where they're from, we don't know their mental state, we don't know their bank balance.
It's just like my man, that you from a couple bare episodes ago, where he was saying to man, I can't remember about his name, fam, but he was just saying like him watching the podcast is.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember about his name,
man. a bad place.
bad
Yeah,
place,
come
yeah.
out of a bad place, and it's just weird because I think like music does exactly the same thing, bro. Like I remember the first time someone ever came up to me for music, and I remember I was in West End, and then it was like it was so weird because it was like yeah da da da. I was like, what are you talking about, bro? He's like, yeah da da da. I like your tape that you got with Berry, da, da, da. But I don't know this brother, and we're having a big conversation, and I was like, wow, this is weird. Like, do you know what I mean? And I remember just being with some of my other brethren while they were blowing up, and like you just hear the whispers, like, oh, you know, that's da 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 da. Do you know what I mean? I remember we went out the other day to one of my brethren's shows, and there's some random you that man don't know, and he started saying, "You're da 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 da, you're da 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 da, you're da da da." Like, brother, like. What, like,
Are you so informed, bro?
what are, do you know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, like I watch everything, and I like your parties, I like what you do, I like what you do, and it's like you never know, like, do you know what I'm saying? And I always feel, especially like with artists and people that do things where where it's to a camera or entertainment, like sometimes you always feel like no one gives a fuck about, like no one gives a fuck about my thing, but you never know that one person, that two people that are watching your thing, yeah, and so heavily inspired by it that when you do meet that person, they're gonna be able to tell you exactly everything that you said. Like, as even when I was saying the other day when I went out, and one youth came up to me and he was like, "Yo, you know, episode da 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 was mad," and I just thought, okay, maybe you've just seen it online, and do you know what I'm saying?
You seen a
saw
clip,
and he was like, "Yeah, brother, you see when my man started talking about GoldenEye and da 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 da." You get me? I was like, oh shit, cause he like
actually watched it,
like you watch it, and you get me? My man's come to DJ somewhere. You get me? Shout out Rico. He's come to DJ somewhere, and he's just been like, yo, cause like you see when you watch the, like, you know how niggas in the like sometimes man I do the fugazi thing, like yeah man watch it, but man don't really watch it, innit? Cool. Whatever. But then so I was just kind of giving a my brother, love my brother, you know, all of that. And he was like, yeah, bro, when my man start talking about GoldenEye and a golden gun, like it bring back so much memories. And I was like, oh my God, like, I said, cuz you really watch this shit. Like, you know, like, I was like, you really watch it. So, I mean, bruv, once again, black Britishness, man. I think we're every day we're defining what this is, man. There was stuff before us, but I feel like our definition of black Britishness is going to be not totally, but it's going to be different to the youths before, man. It's going to be different to that. Even like in terms of like skits and watching like someone like Tom, like doing all them skits and that, and it was all like, yeah, it's a joke, and then niggas started breading. Yeah. Niggas started making bread off it. You know what I mean?
People started noticing.
Even Mo the comedian, bro. Like
Michael Dapper,
bro. All of these things where I mean,
all of you guys, you can come on.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
Don't
bro.
worry.
Yeah, bro.
I'm here for the conversation. Come and chat with us.
But I'm sure that there was a part where all of them probably had the doubts, like, bro, what, like, especially if some of these men wanted to be like actors and that. Like, I'm sure some of these other people, like, you know, doing that ain't gonna make you
all of that.
You know, you're never gonna be able to do that, bruv. One of the most, I don't care what no one says. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. The most viewed UK rap song, yeah, is "Man's Not Hot." Yeah. And it's by a clear margin, bro. So that I'm sure when my man made the tune, he was never thinking, yeah, this is gonna be, bruv. He just did it.
Last time I checked, it was 3 times platinum,
bro. Listen,
and one of those 3 times was in America.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So it is gone platinum in America.
You tell me who else is selling $1 million in America,
bro.
That's different levels.
On a note like that, shout out Michael Dapper. We should be leaving it there.
As always, people, man. Like what Temz said, black British culture is always going to be evolving. It's always going to be different to others, and it's funny because my stepson was doing homework about Black Hit History, and one of the questions was, how do you think Black History Month is going to evolve in the new years?
Interesting.
And he was kind of stuck, like, I don't know, and I was like, well, you just got to deep it on a level of, as the days, the weeks, the months, the years go by, new black British stars, idols, whatever, are born. So as the times go, there's going to be new ones. There's going to be paying homage to the older ones, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger. That's all you got to think about. And I I think that's the best way to leave it. Like, we've come from some great leaders and teachers, and they've birthed generations, and we're just going to birth more, and they're going to birth more, and we're just going to get stronger and stronger. So we'll leave it as that. As always, comment, like, subscribe, tell us what you want to hear us talk about.
100.
And
Shout out to my guy Evo, because he's the one that kind of inspired me to talk about this today, along with Temz and some of the points that I've touched on as well. And each one of my customers from working, I spoke to him on the phone today, and he was like, literally, bro, this guy, he bought an A4 for me like 6 months ago, and he was like, follow me on Instagram. Like, all right, cool. So he called me today. He's like, oh, someone broke into my car. We was talking. He was like, so what are you recording on the podcast today on the phone, like off the cuff? And I was like,
nigga,
I was like,
this is
like, what?
This is working out.
Who told you I'm recording today,
I
bro?
was like, what? He's like, yeah, I've seen it on Instagram.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what? He's like, yeah, talk about London and talk about stuff. I was like, all right, cool, we'll talk about it today. So shout out my guy Evo, man. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, 100. Yeah, 100.
We'll leave it as that, man. We'll see you next week. Bow.
Keep spit shining, bitch.
I can't do it.
You know what? Shout out my pops, man. Positive black man in my life, yeah?